people I worked with were amazing and brilliant. But this time, you know, there's a certain truth to the things everyone's saying. I mean, it was such a diverse cast. And to walk in, the initial cast was so amazing. When you walked in, you saw Christina Ricci and Emil and, you know, John Goodman and Susan Sarandon and Matthew Fox. I mean, you saw them standing there and you really thought, wow, this is, you know. And then all of a sudden the Wachowski brothers walked in and said, you know, welcome. And, you know, being an Australian kid and dreaming of the movies when I was growing up, you know, that was certainly a moment where I'd worked on a couple of American films and you know, I'd been in LA and met famous people and whatever, but to be a significant part of a project like this, it really was a pretty special moment to sit there. It was funny, when the first day we were there, Matthew Fox, you know, everyone was pretty nervous. Going into a Wachowski brothers movie, everyone was pretty nervous. And I looked at Matthew and we were both sort of sitting there and I said, did you play sport when you were, you know, growing up? And he said, yeah, I played a lot of sport. And I said, did you dream of, you know, win the Super Bowl? I said, in Australia, I, you know, dream of, you know, taking a hat trick on the Boxing Day test or winning the grand final. And he said, yeah, sure, I dreamed of that a lot. And I said, when you found out you got this movie, did it feel like you won the Super Bowl? And he took his glasses, he was like, that's exactly what it felt like. And we were like, oh, like having a big fist hug, and we were like, come on. And it was a pretty euphoric moment. I love about the movie is that it doesn't ever reference that. It doesn't ever explain it or reference it. It just presents a world. And this movie is really important for that reason, because I think it's a family movie, and adults, there's so much in there for adults. And I think, you know, it's going to be a really big movie for adults. But for kids, it's going to be really influential. And for them to see a world presented on their screens where people just are Australian, they are Japanese, they are Korean, they are British, they are American, they are, you know, whatever it may be, German, and it doesn't matter. They just are that. And so kids grow up observing a world where that isn't a door closing in your face. That, oh, they're other than you, because it's just one thing. It's just this generic humanity. And I mean, that was a lot of fun just as an actor to play and meet all these fascinating people from all around the world. I mean, it was funny. Rain, you know, this Korean megastar, he was just there with, you know, he had a buddy and they just kind of came in. He was just staying in the hotel with us. And, you know, I go and say, hey, Rain, do you want to come and go bite to eat? And I just thought he was a Korean actor. And then all of a sudden, Susan Sarandon actually came and she said, type in Rain into YouTube. My son just told me to type in Rain into YouTube. He's got all these film clips on there. I was like, Rain? And then all of a sudden we all found out that he was this giant star. But he was just hanging out in Germany, and everyone kind of was, you know, Matthew's this huge star of, you know, Lost, and he was just hanging out in Germany and shooting the movie, and it was really cool. Everyone was very down to earth, but like you say, everyone was from a different part of the world. It was very exciting. What amazes me the most is when you watch the movie, when the car's racing at Thunderhead at the beginning or at the Grand Prix at the end, the car's racing on a track and there's all lights beaming down the track. The lights are being reflected in the car. You can see it as the car's racing. They're all being reflected in the car. Now, the car's not real. The car's a computer-generated image. The light's not real either. There's no light and there's no car. So the reflection of the light in the car has to also be created as that car's moving around the track. It has to be put on the car in the right. And I was looking, I was going, I sort of felt like the Matrix when, you know, she says, now what's really going to blow your mind is there is no spoon. I was looking at it and I was like, what's really blowing my mind is there is no car, there is no light. So how's the light reflecting in the car? That's not, it kind of blew my mind. So the whole thing really, I didn't understand. I had no idea how they created what they did, but they told me they were going to do it and they exceeded my expectations. So it was pretty exciting to watch.